The following program is sponsored by Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County and the generous gifts of these contributors.
Thank you for joining us for our 44th season of Mosaic. I'm your host, Susan Schulman-Pertnoy. Mosaic is Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County's weekly news magazine, exploring the most critical issues facing Jews here and around the world. Today, we're talking with members and allies of our LGBTQ community, working for full equality of all LGBTQ Jews and their families. We'll find out how their efforts are strengthening our local communities. We'll be right back. Did you know that you can now enjoy Mosaic on the go? Listen to the Mosaic podcast by scanning the QR code on the screen or find it wherever you listen to podcasts. We're so proud to celebrate our community visionaries, donors who contribute $1 million or more, serving as an inspiration for all of Jewish Palm Beach. Welcome to Mosaic. Joining us today is Federation's Senior Director of Leadership Development, Lindsay Hirsch. Lindsay, welcome to Mosaic.
Thanks, Susan.
It's such a pleasure to have you here again with us.
I'm excited.
Before we delve into our topic today, why don't you tell our audience about what your role exactly is here at Federation?
Sure. I have the best job at Federation. I am in charge of all of our leadership development programs, as well as training our community leaders involved in partner agencies, synagogues, anywhere that has Jewish leadership. I'm a resource to them, and the Mandel Center provides materials, trainings, anything they may need. And also I work with all of our leaders in Federation's committee structure. So we have about 393 leaders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing, that I have the pleasure and honor of working with.
Wow, that is such a job, an enormous responsibility.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Today's topic is Jewish fight for equality for the LGBTQ community. And last year, you led a diverse group of individuals to create something called the Inclusivity Statement for our Federation. Yes. Tell us what that is, and more importantly, what are the ideals behind it?
Absolutely. So really under the leadership of Lynn Caston with our HR and Leadership Development Committee, we created this inclusivity statement. We worked with a really diverse group of lay leaders, our pride group, as well as other individuals and stakeholders in our community who wanted a voice in creating the inclusivity statement. We did this because it was based off, we have this amazing mission and vision, and under Charles's leadership, we actually did the core values of the organization. And so building on all of those strengths, we wanted to ensure that people knew we had a place for everyone in our organization and in our community. And so the inclusivity statement was really this beautiful project and collaboration of leaders coming together. So we created it last year, and in order for it to not just be a hollow statement for the organization, we wanted to bring it to life. And so this year we started that with our Pride group and with the LGBTQ plus Jewish community members.
So tell us some of the programs and activities that you've participated in and created for this.
So this year we had our first ever Pride Shabbat. We kept it to a really intimate group to just kind of explore what it would look like and mean. And next year we're already talking about two. one that may be in collaboration with another nonprofit here locally.
Is that one table?
Yes.
That's part of our federation. That's terrific.
It is. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we're working on doing 2 Pride Shabbats, one in collaboration with One Table, so that the 20s and 30s group have their own Pride experience. And then the second would be open to the broader community to ensure that anyone who is a member of the community or supports it as an ally would get to participate in Shabbat. We've also been doing a lot of work with our colleagues in Budapest who have their own Pride group that they do, and it's our new sister city. And so that's been a real source of pride for our community here. And we're exploring what else can we do, what is the need in the community, and where do people want to get involved as it pertains to the inclusivity portfolio.
There's something called the Keshet program. Are you involved in that as well?
Absolutely.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. This year, we participated in the Keshet Leadership Project, which brought together the 4 South Florida federations, as well as our partner agencies, in addition to a few synagogues and other Jewish organizations who really wanted to put the work of Jewish pride at the forefront of their organization this year. So we are working with our Mandel JCC, our Alpert JFS, as well as a few of our synagogues in order to build the pride presence here in Jewish Palm Beach. And we identified 7 goals that we wanted to accomplish this year for our organization. And we've already hit the mark on 4 of our 7. And we will graduate from the Keshet Leadership Project in October, which is amazing. And it's really been such a beautiful experience. We've been sharing best practices with colleagues in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Boca. There's a nice tight-knit group of professionals who are trying to expand the work that we're doing. And so we're collaborating in a really meaningful way across Jewish South Florida, which has been really quite meaningful and expansive for the work we've been doing.
You also recently, actually Federation recently participated in Palm Beach Pride event. You want to tell us about that?
That was remarkable. It was our first time ever participating, and we had over 65 people volunteering, participating in the walk. And the most remarkable part of it was that so many individuals, whether they were Jewish or not, came up to our booth and said thank you. They said, thank you for being here. Thank you for being proud to be Jewish. Thank you for supporting the LGBTQ plus community. And people were taking pictures of our booth. They wanted to buy our t-shirts. And they were like, oh, more Jewish people are here. Every time someone walked in wearing our shirt. And it was really outstanding to see. And it was amazing to see the camaraderie between the Pride community and the Jewish community. And it was a little bit magical. There was a little bit of magic in our first time participating and seeing how much the community supported us and how much we support the Pride group and the community.
I actually did participate, and it was magical, as you say. So moving forward, what's in store for the Federation to become more inclusive in the future?
So we're really excited. This is from such a foundation of strength that we only have more to do. And so we're looking to grow the number of individuals who want to be involved in our Pride group. We're looking to grow the number of programs that we want to create. We are looking to expand inclusivity even further to Jews of color and to other groups that may feel that they're not a part of our community when the reality is they are 100% a part of our community. So really the sky's the limit, and we're excited to be creative and innovative and welcoming to everyone who wants to be here.
Well, the Federation is so fortunate to have you at the helm of this project.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we'll discuss the challenges facing the LGBTQ Jews and their allies as they continue the fight for equality. That and more coming up on Mosaic. Did you know that you can now enjoy Mosaic on the go? Listen to the Mosaic podcast by scanning the QR code on the screen or find it wherever you listen to podcasts. Welcome back. Joining us now are three members from Federation's Leadership Pride Committee. We have Ethan Kernkraut, Andrew Kerner, and Tracy Rollins. Welcome to Mosaic, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Before we get started on the topic, tell us your background and why you became involved in Leadership Committee. Want to start?
Yes, I'm an ally to this committee, and I have twin boys who are in their late 20s, one of whom is gay. They don't live in Florida anymore, but grew up here, went through the Meyer Academy, and were active members of the Jewish community, and so it was important to me to be involved in this type of a venture.
That's great. How about you, Andrew?
I grew up in Palm Beach Gardens and ended up in Jupiter for high school and graduated from Jupiter Community High, and left for college and for a good portion of my career, and then in 2020 I moved back with my husband and my son, and I wanted to be a part, reconnect, and I wanted to help others feel as comfortable as I was made to feel when I moved back.
How about you, Ethan?
Yeah, so coming to Florida from areas where LGBT pride is much more prominent, like San Francisco, the Bay Area, and Cambridge and Boston, the two places I lived before moving here, I was active in pride and queer community spaces and advocacy spaces, and I really wanted to make sure that we did a good job of bringing that advocacy to our own community.
Andrew, your background is very typical of young Jewish families. You went away to school and started a career elsewhere, and then you came home to the community that you were raised in. But what are the differences that you see now than when it was like growing up?
Well, some things have changed on a national scale. So the acceptance in general of the LGBTQ community and same-sex couples with children, in general, the community's been much more accepting. In Florida, when I was a child, growing up and through high school, it was illegal to adopt a child if you were found out to have been a homosexual at any point within a year before you wanted to adopt a child. And so that no longer being a law on the books, I think it provided some security when I chose to bring my family back to Palm Beach County.
Ethan, you recently moved and you have a young family. Do you have anything more to add about how it feels?
Yeah, there are times in Florida where I don't feel comfortable sometimes holding my husband's hand walking down the street, as I did growing up in San Francisco and as we did in Cambridge and Boston. But there are times where I do feel that I can do that. And so that is something that I struggle with sometimes as an out queer male individual with two young kids. And I think what we're also seeing in the Florida State Legislature, what's happening with book banning. There is a book, And Tango Makes Three, and it's about two male penguins in the Central Park Zoo that adopt an egg. The zookeeper gives them an egg, and that book has now been banned in several Florida school districts and Florida libraries. So I think we just need to be hyper aware about what's going on in our community and make sure that we're vigilant.
So what are you telling people in the LGBTQ community that are talking about perhaps moving here, about what's going on?
I was contacted by a number of people, especially right after we had moved back during COVID. There were lots of people who were interested in coming to the area. It coincided with some news about the changes that Ethan's talking about and the support that those changes was having within the general population in Florida. And that is a discomforting feeling. And so people who were contemplating it changed their mind. And they said, I really am sorry, I don't feel comfortable going there. And they chose to, if they were going to leave where they were living, they chose to go somewhere else, which I think is a shame, especially being a part of a Jewish community which has been so welcoming. And one of the things I just wanted to add on to what Ethan said is that I also am very conscious of where I will hold my husband's hand in public or give a quick kiss goodbye if I'm walking off somewhere. However, in the Jewish community, I don't feel that way. If I were to say Shabbat Shalom and give my husband a kiss on the cheek, I would not feel the least bit uncomfortable in a synagogue in the community, because I know that the community has been and is so supportive.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Tracy, your sons I know don't live here, but have they expressed that they feel comfortable and safe when they come back to Florida?
Comfortable and safe for a short visit, yes, because we're together as a family. But both my gay son and his twin brother have expressed that it's not something on their radar. The gay son, because he just doesn't feel that this is a community outside of the Jewish community, a public community that would welcome him and everything that he is and stands for. And I'm proud to say that his twin brother feels the same way, that if it's not a place that would welcome his brother, or his brother says that, then nor does he want to be here. So for now, there's no plans for them to move back.
It's sad, but it's very understandable. In our last segment, Lindsay was telling us about some of the programs, and I know you have created a Shabbat program, one through One Table and others, but how did you recruit all the people to attend the Shabbat, and what was it like?
So we had a Pride Shabbat a couple of months ago, I guess. And actually there was such an overwhelming response. We had it at my house that I was worried we wouldn't have enough table room. And in fact, we were pretty crowded, let's be honest. But it was a nice kind of crowded because, there's always this very warm feeling at Shabbat. But to be together for a purpose, I just felt wonderful. It was really such a special, special evening to be with two people that I really like and care about, as well as other people who I hadn't met before, but that shared a very common interest.
So these people that attended, you hadn't met them, and they are they part of the Federation, or they just were part of the community and heard about it?
They were part of the Federation. It wasn't a general outreach event. We weren't quite ready for that. But these were people involved in Federation who had expressed an interest in the Federation's commitment to diversity and LGBTQ plus inclusion. And so we reached out to them in an email and expected that maybe it would be us and a few of our close friends who would support us, but the RSVPs came in and we had quite a few people in a really wonderful evening together.
Oh, that's terrific.
It was.
Anybody have anything else to add to that? No?
It was a wonderful experience, and it was very nice to get together with other members in the community who are supportive of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, it was nice to have that sense of solidarity and togetherness around a Shabbat meal. It was really beautiful.
That's great. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this brief message. When we come back, more with our panel on what can be done now and in the future to fight for LGBTQ equality in our Jewish community. Stay tuned. We're so proud to celebrate our community visionaries, donors who contribute $1 million or more, serving as an inspiration for all of Jewish Palm Beach. We're back speaking about the Jewish fight for the LGBTQ community in terms of equality, and we're talking with Federation's Pride Leadership Committee. All three of you were very involved in our creation of the inclusivity statement, and I'd like to know what it was like to participate in that and how it's progressed.
Well, I participate as an ally, and I guess I'm just one of those Jewish mama bears who wants to do everything to make the world a better place for my children, and including my sons. And so that's how I got involved, and it's been a great opportunity to feel like I'm doing something, and that in turn the Federation is so supportive. of what we want to do. So all in, it's been and continues to be a great experience.
That's great. Andrew?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that it was something that was publicly known, that the Jewish community is an inclusive community, values diversity, and that everyone is welcome. So I was really honored to be a part of it.
It was a great process to go through. We did several weeks of benchmarking with other nonprofit institutions, both secular and Jewish, and other federations across the country, to really look and see what their inclusivity statements looked like. And it was really beautiful to see just the array and the vastness of how different communities talked about inclusivity, and that really informed how we went about crafting our message. And I'm so proud that it was adopted, and now it will be here in our community to stay.
Ethan, you're a member of Jewish Federations of North America Young Leadership Cabinet, and you're also a member of a subcommittee which is on equality, diversity, and inclusion at at JFNA.
Yes, that's right.
Would you tell us about that?
Sure. So it's kind of formally known as JEDI, Jewish Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. And it's a group of, we probably have about 30 or 40 in cabinet right now. We are the first cohort of this JEDI group. They actually just launched their second cohort a few months ago. And it really is about informing national young leaders how to be good allies if you are in that sector, but also how to understand your own biases, both conscious biases and unconscious biases. And JEDI really gives us the framework and the tools to understand how to be better participants in our community, how to be advocates, how to raise your voice when it matters, and how to have more visibility in your community. And it's been a really great first year, and I'm really looking forward to continuing the work with Cabinet and JEDI.
Wow, sounds terrific. Tracy, you are one of those allies, and and you do important work as an ally. Can you tell us some of the things that you're doing?
Well, we mentioned the Pride Shabbat. We also participated, my husband and I participated in the Pride Parade last week, which was really incredible, as Lindsay said earlier. It was an incredible opportunity to sort of stand up and be seen in supporting this important endeavor, and also to feel the support from just the community at large that was attending the parade, beyond the Jewish community, but certainly including the community. I had a woman come up to me after, when we were walking around, who was Jewish, and said that she no longer speaks to a relative in her family because he disagrees that Judaism or the Jewish community has a place for the LGBT community, and that that's an improper investment of time, I suppose, and money, and she doesn't speak to him anymore. And she said that seeing us validated everything she believed in. And to me, that was like winning an award.
Sure.
You know, it just meant everything. I didn't know this woman. I may never see her again, but she really made a big impact on me.
Wow. So. Tell us about your emblem.
So I was looking for a way to sort of demonstrate allyship, and saw these stickers. But then it's a beautifully colorful sticker, but thought, okay, well, what does this mean? I need to make sure I really understand it if I'm going to wear this. So I had to read through several paragraphs explaining it. There's an A, which stands for ally. The black and white stripes are supposed to represent the heterosexual community, which is probably not appropriate for it to be just black and white, but nevertheless, that's what it symbolizes. And then the rainbow, of course, for pride and LGBTQ inclusion. So it's all sort of mapped into one sticker. And I handed them out to everyone, but got a fair amount of attention from people asking what they are. I think I'm going to start wearing it when I go to different events as an opportunity to be asked and then explain why I'm wearing it.
Sure,
so.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
I want one. Andrew, as an immigration attorney, you deal with a lot of minorities. And you've made an analogy between gays and Jewish people. Can you tell us what that is?
Yes. So when I came out, I really felt that being Jewish was very similar to being gay, that I was set now with a new situation. I was a part of two different minorities. And I really felt that I could understand what it's like to be, and I felt like my fellow Jews could better understand what it's like to be gay, because of the fact that they also are a minority, and they also have been, throughout history, delegitimized by the majority, whether it's leaders or the majority of people in the community. And I really think it's important that Jews think about that when we are confronted with minorities, whether it's immigrants or LGBTQ plus or both, other minorities who are being delegitimized, disenfranchised by the government or by groups that the government is unwilling to control.
It's such an interesting perspective, really, and it's true. We're going to change topic for a second. You're all parents of kids at different stages and on a journey with them. So I want to end the program with a question for each of you of what is your wish for the future? What type of world would you like to see for your kids? You want to start, Tracy?
Sure. I guess what I would like to see in not so many years is that it's a non-issue in the Jewish community. Whatever your orientation is, whatever you believe in, whomever you love, are married to, whatever, just doesn't matter and is fully accepted. And I think we're getting there, but I look forward to the day when we're there.
So do I. Thank you. Andrew?
I really want my son to grow up in a world where it's second nature to just assume that that someone who is unlike you is living their life and is accepted, that diversity is valued and it isn't used as a way to take away from someone's identity or experience.
Thank you. Ethan?
Yeah, so I think for my two girls, I would love for them to be able to always just say, yeah, I have two dads, and not to have additional questions of, well, how did you come to be? Were you adopted? Did you do surrogacy? We often get asked those types of questions, and it's fine. We're certainly comfortable in speaking about that, but I would love there to be a day where it just is a statement, and we don't need to have tons of technical follow-up on how we created our family. We just are, and we exist.
Well, thank you all for joining us today. This is a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This program is sponsored by Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County.